What is up, boys and girls? So today we're talking about cameras. We're talking about Panasonic Micro Four Thirds cameras, and I wanted to mention this little classic camera. This is the Panasonic G7. I've actually owned two of these, and this is a really cool camera. Even though I'm shooting this with the GH5, which is a superior camera, I still kept my G7 and I would probably never let it go. Never say never, but I'm a really huge fan of this camera for a bunch of reasons, and I wanted to explain to you why. So starting off, this is a really old camera by, tech specs aside. Like if you look at, how the development is just getting faster and faster, cameras are getting better and better. This 4K Micro Four Thirds camera, I think I bought this something like 2015, and I really enjoyed using it when I got it. And I've shot so many videos with it, so many YouTube videos, short films. Wonderful camera. Battery life has always been stellar on this thing. The biggest problem with this thing has always been the build quality. There's a lot of scratches on this this little camera here. You can see on the back here, it's got these scuffs and everything. I had a long discussion with a friend of mine about plastic, where I basically said, hey, plastic is plastic. He was complaining that this plastic is probably a worse kind of plastic, and I was like, no, plastic is plastic. But okay, I was wrong. This is a really cheaper type of plastic because it scratches super easily. Like, I've never owned any piece of plastic equipment that's scratched as easy as this one. But I think they use it to make this camera cheaper, probably to make it a lot lighter. This camera is really light, especially when you have like a plastic lens, then it becomes really light. It's almost on par with something like this. This is a smaller, this is the GX80. 800. It's really small and compact, but they almost weigh the same. Like, there is a difference, about 100 grams or so, but this one feels very light, especially with this grip. It feels very solid. And there's so many things I can mention about this thing. When I got it, it cost like like $300 or so. This was really expensive. I got it with a kit lens for $300. It has a swivelly screen, very nice and sharp, very lovely. It has a viewfinder, it has a flash, and interchangeable lenses. Obviously, it's Micro Four Thirds. Shoots in 4K, 24 FPS, 30 FPS. There is a limit, like 30 minutes or so, which is stupid, but it's a lot better than the GX800, which has something like a 5-minute limit, which is dumb. To say the least. Shoots 1080p and 60 FPS, which is kind of standard. It does not have built-in stabilization, but you can get lenses with pretty good stabilization, optical stabilization. So I don't have any complaints, or at least I didn't until I got my GH5, which blew this out of the water. GH5 is the most amazing camera in the world. I'm going to make a different video about it, but for now, just trust me when I say that this camera is pretty cool. And also, for that cheap price, the fact that you also got the mic input is pretty impressive. Now, you didn't get like a headphone input, but still, using it with the microphone is pretty good. You can get like an adapter, and you could technically monitor the audio anyway. And most professional, they record with something like a Zoom, sound recorder anyway. They use external sources, so it's not a very important thing. But if you're a YouTuber, you want something quick, being able to put on a wireless, Rode Wireless Go, for instance, on the top here, or a shotgun mic, or a smart lav, or anything, it's just super easy and simple to use the thing. So I really enjoy it. Like, there's a lot of functions, as I mentioned in previous videos, compared to something like the Canon T3i, the 600D. This thing is packed with, zebra pattern and all sorts of tools, and you have your custom keys that you can make. Not as many as the GH5, but it still has that. Very crisp 4K very good image quality. I would say it's almost as good as the GH5. I mean, it's basically the same sensor, or at least the same size. It's very cool, and if you can get this cheap on eBay or Amazon or something, let me tell you, it's really price-worthy if you can accept the fact that you're gonna get a lot of scratches on the plastic. That's the only real downside of this thing. Okay, now, photography, pictures. I don't really take so many pictures with my camera, but the pictures that I have taken with it are pretty good. Low light also. I have to mention one of my favorite features of the Panasonic G7, and this is something that's also on other Panasonic cameras, but it's the ability to do time lapses, and this actually has the processor that can, you know, take all those pictures and make a time-lapse 4K video file inside the camera. Really like that. A lot of different brands don't have that feature. I really like the fact that this camera does, so I'm very pleased with that. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm still keeping it in 2020 for a lot of reasons, apart from those that I mentioned. It's good to have a spare camera, especially when you're you want to get some B-roll or quick change of lenses. You know, you don't want to flip lenses on your camera. You want to have two lenses shooting a photography. It sometimes is a good idea to have two cameras instead of one camera with different lenses. But I'm a huge fan, and I've had lots of fun with this thing. I've shot really brilliant shots with this thing, so I'm super happy with it. And again, if you find it cheap on Amazon and eBay, get it. You won't be sorry. Okay, that's all I had for today. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.